Hello Cosmo students, this is Mrs. Jones again. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm adding the next part of your assignment for the next week, and we're still going to be dealing with all this mixing stuff probably till the end of the school year. So today's assignment is actually to just reinforce what you did last week. This is your assignment sheet, okay? And I'm going to do probably 2 examples. I think I'm going to do 2 to show you just how to do it and how to use the worksheet, okay? So we're using a Loxi Chroma Color that's mixed 1 part color to 1.5 parts developer. So in this very first one, we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of color. We don't know how much developer. We don't know how much total product we're going to need, but we are going to solve it. So we set up our little proportion, and remember when we do mixing, we've got our 2 ingredients. We're going to do color and our developer. So I put a little C and a little D there so that I can just kind of keep myself straight. And on this side, the left-hand side, I put all about my mixing ratio. My mixing ratio I get from up here, that it's 1 part color to 1.5 parts developer. And you guys know I don't like fractions, so I turn everything into decimals if I can. The color, we know that we're going to use 3/4 of an ounce of color. So our 3/4 of an ounce, or 0.75, is going to go on top because that's where the color is on top. And we don't know how many ounces of developer we're going to use, so we're going to cross multiply and divide. We cross multiply and then divide by 1. And I know that dividing by 1 in this case doesn't really do anything, but we're just kind of get in that realm, okay? So I calculated that I need 1.125 ounces of developer. I want you to label everything so that you actually know what it means and how it connects to real life. If I just wrote 1.125, how does that connect to actually what we're doing? So I'm going to fill in the rest of the chart then. The developer, I just calculated that I needed 1.125 ounces of developer, which then total product in our bowl, we're going to have 3/4 of an ounce in our bowl for color, and then we just put another 1.125 ounces of developer in there. So I'm going to add those 2 things together, and that's how many total ounces should be in the bowl. Okay, let's go down below a little bit and do another problem down here. In this case, we know how many ounces of developer we're going to put in, but we don't know how many ounces of color. So our mixing ratio stays the same. Color, developer, it's 1 part color to 1.5 parts developer. And we know that we're going to put in 1.75 ounces of developer. 1.75 ounces of developer. But we don't know how many ounces of color that's going to be to go with it. So we cross multiply and then divide. So we're taking 1 times 1.75 divided by 1.5. And I get a real funky decimal, and that's okay. We can round it to 1.17 ounces of, and this one would be ounces of color. So I'm going to fill in the rest of the chart here now. We're putting in 1 3/4 ounces of developer into the bowl. And then we just calculated that we needed 1.17 ounces of color So total in the bowl, if we add those two things together, we should have 2.92 ounces of total product in the bowl. Right? So your assignment is to complete the other problems that are on this page, just to reinforce that mixing of the color. Okay? All right. Thank you. See you later. Bye.